Hills of Bethlehem stretched under a golden sky, the sheep grazing lazily as a young shepherd moved among them. His hands, rough from years of labor, strummed a simple tune on his harp. His voice, steady and sure, lifted praises to Yahweh. David had spent his whole life in these fields, the youngest son of Jesse, the overlooked one. But today, everything was about to change. At that very moment, the prophet Samuel walked the dusty road toward Jesse's house. His aged face was set with determination, his heart pounding with the weight of Yahweh's command. Saul, the king of Israel, had failed. Yahweh had rejected him. And now, Samuel was sent to find the next king, the one Yahweh had chosen. When Jesse presented his sons, Samuel's eyes scanned each one. Eliab, the eldest, was tall and strong. Abinadab and Shammah followed, each bearing the look of warriors. Samuel studied them, but Yahweh spoke to his heart. Do not look at his appearance. I have rejected him. Yahweh does not see as man sees. For man looks at the outward appearance, but Yahweh looks at the heart. One by one, Jesse's sons passed before Samuel, but Yahweh chose none of them. Confusion flickered in Samuel's eyes. Are these all your sons? Jesse hesitated. Then, with a dismissive wave, he said, There is still the youngest, but he is tending the sheep. Samuel's eyes sharpened. Send for him. We will not sit down until he arrives. Minutes later, David entered. The moment Samuel saw him, Yahweh's voice thundered in his heart. Arise, anoint him, this is the one. Oil poured down David's head, soaking into his hair, his skin, his very soul. As it flowed, something unseen shifted in the heavens. The spirit of Yahweh rushed upon him like a mighty wind, filling him with power. He was still just a shepherd, but Yahweh had marked him as king. Sometime later, the valley of Elah was thick with tension. On one hill, the Philistine army, their banners flapping in the wind. On the other, Israel's soldiers, their faces pale with fear. And in the valley between them stood a monster, Goliath. 9 feet tall, his bronze armor glinted in the sun. His spear weighed more than a full-grown man. For 40 days, he had stood before Israel, roaring his challenge. Send me a man. If he defeats me, we will be your servants. But if I kill him, you will serve us. Not one man in Israel dared step forward. And then, on that fateful morning, David arrived. Sent by Jesse to bring food to his brothers, he had come expecting a normal day. But what he found was a nation paralyzed by fear. His brothers scoffed at him. Why are you here, little shepherd? Go back to your sheep. But David's jaw tightened. His heart burned with righteous anger. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine, he demanded, that he should defy the armies of the living Elohim? Word of his defiance reached King Saul. When David stood before the king, Saul stared at him, unbelieving. You are but a boy, Saul said, and he is a warrior from his youth. David stepped forward, his eyes burning with faith. I have killed both lion and bear, he declared. Yahweh delivered me from their jaws, and he will deliver me from this Philistine. Saul hesitated, but something in David's voice stirred him. Go, he said at last, and Yahweh be with you. David refused the king's armor. He took only his staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones from the brook. As he stepped onto the battlefield, Goliath laughed. Am I a dog, the giant sneered, that you come at me with sticks? David did not flinch. He did not move. You come against me with sword and spear, he called, his voice ringing through the valley. But I come against you in the name of Yahweh of armies. This day he will deliver you into my hand. Goliath's laughter turned to a roar. He charged. David ran toward him. In one motion he reached into his pouch, pulled out a stone, and let it fly. The stone whistled through the air, straight into Goliath's forehead. The giant staggered. His eyes rolled back. Then he fell. A sound like thunder shook the valley as his massive body crashed to the ground. The Philistines gasped in horror. The Israelites watched in awe. David strode forward, drew Goliath's own sword, and severed his head. The Philistines broke and ran. Israel roared in victory, and in that moment, David went from shepherd to legend. David's fame spread like wildfire. He was brought into Saul's court, a hero, a warrior, a rising star. He fought for Israel. He won every battle, and the people sang in the streets, "Saul has slain his thousands, but David his tens of thousands." And in Saul's heart, something dark took root. He watched David. He saw the love the people had for him. He saw the way they looked at him with awe. And Saul knew. David wasn't just another warrior. He was a threat. That day, jealousy crept into Saul's soul like a viper, whispering, "He will take your throne. And if you do not destroy him, he will destroy you." And so, as David's star rose, Saul's hatred grew.